in my conclusion of this conference, I feel that a lot of women just have the mentality that they're not going to allow men to play in their faces. A lot of these men, they want women that are going to be pretty much be their maid and their mother. And women nowadays are not desiring to do that. I believe they're saying in so many words, they're not going to be either. They're not going to be their maid. They're not going to be their mother. A lot of women have burned themselves out and worn themselves down and experienced premature aging behind taking care of a big kid that was called their husband or their boyfriend. I feel like that God created a woman to be a helpmeet to her husband, but not a slave servant at his every beck and call. No, I think women are sick of that. I think women are catering more to themselves, investing more in themselves, even as far as their, just their upkeep. Taking care of themselves, getting their hair done, maybe their nails done, their makeup, just maybe, dressing more stylish. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know. Because basically, I think a lot of women are getting back to themselves. They're getting back to the person that they sat down in a chair when they got involved with men or a man or got married or dated or whatever. Look at the things, I don't know if anybody can pinpoint, but look at the things that as a woman that you put down when you got involved with that man. A lot of you may have been interested in ballet or acting or modeling or being a choreographer or, did I say actress? Maybe you wanted to open your own cookie business or your own, a little cosmetic business. Maybe you wanted to go to school for this or that. Maybe you wanted to, or something else women may have liked to do. Maybe you wanted to be a hairstylist. Maybe you were a hairstylist. Maybe you wanted to do manicures and pedicures or be a counselor for other women, or maybe you wanted to, be an attorney or whatever. Looking back over your lives, for those of you that this message may resonate with, look what you put down when you picked that man up. So in fact, I think a lot of women feel, I'm just going to say it like it's coming. In fact, a lot of women have sacrificed. They sacrificed who they were to accommodate who he is. And I feel like, me personally, that's a mistake. Even though I don't like to utilize that word mistake. I really don't believe in mistakes. I believe in choices that might not be beneficial, but you can draw something to your benefit out of it. So I feel like as long as you can draw something beneficial out of it, should it really be considered a mistake, or should it be considered the Lord ordering your steps? Because what we interpret as mistakes a lot of times is God Almighty ordering our steps. Because a lot of times Father will order your steps in a way that you would not have ordered it for yourself. But at the end of the day, it's going to work in your favor, because, well, it's like what the Holy Scriptures say. All things work together for good to them that love the Lord. So even that toxic man that you may have gotten involved with, that toxic relationship that you may have gotten involved in, that toxic marriage that you may have gotten involved in, God Almighty, who created the man, who created you, the woman, said all things work together for good to them that love the Lord. So even that toxic situation, God can bring a positive out of toxicity. Who am I talking to out there? So that's the reason why whoever you are as a woman today, don't put yourselves down because you chose the wrong man. Because the next man most likely would have been the wrong man too. And if you had a choice between two men and you chose a man and now it didn't work out and you felt like you should have chose the other man, he probably would not have worked out either. So cut yourselves some slack. Because any devil can wear a mask. You must try the Spirit by the Spirit. And you may not have known that initially as younger women, but when you know better, you do better.